Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to a special video, and this time is one of my friends over at Artbones NYC, who are two guys over who were formerly at Toy Biz, who are now doing their own 3D printed figures. And they asked me to take a look at the Artbones Specimen and their archetype figure, and I gotta honestly say, it's one of those things where, hell yeah, you're from Brooklyn, so I want to check it out, because I'm a Brooklyn guy. But, listen my guy, the Artbones stuff is absolutely stunning. It is a ton of fun, and it's one of those things that I kind of just was like, you know what? I think I need more of these. I think I definitely need more of these. Because the Artbones stuff is just, it's a creative piece of art. It's customizable highly. And it's one of those things where it actually holds up pretty well. Now, yes, it is 3D printed, completely head to toe 3D printed. Like, so you think like, oh man, the plastic, it's hard, it's brittle. I'm not sure if it's resin. I'm not sure if it's plastic. I'm honestly not sure what they're using, but I'm going to go by the studio and we're going to have a long tour that I'm actually going to put up later. But it is a very nice material that I actually have a great feel for. And while they're working out the kinks of the figure, they told me like it's crazy because I didn't know that it's just two of them. They go in the studio, they 3D print the figure, and they shave down each piece and make sure every piece is right. And that's why it takes them like 2 days to like get something really going together. And it's pretty dope. That means a lot of love and effort is put into this, and you just gotta hope, you know, for the best. But they actually put the effort into this. So enough of me rambling on. I want to talk about the figure. So I asked for one that represents me, a brown skin guy, because you know, specimen. So this actually looks really cool. The face actually has a great expression. It has a great look to it. It's a bald-headed dude, so that's pretty cool too. So that way, if you want to paint or mold hair on, you can actually mold out the eyes and the eye color you want, the muscular body, the articulation. This is one of those things where I gotta honestly say I was blown away by just how freaking cool this is. So for those of you that 3D printing, I'm late to the game and this stuff is cool. But I want to talk about the articulation and how the things go to it. Yes, these joints are 3D printed and the point that they clear. I know some people may not like that, but I actually don't mind it. If you're gonna cover it up with clothes or do whatever it is you're gonna do, for the most part, this kind of stuff shouldn't bother you because it'll be mostly invisible under clothing or painting or whatever it is you're going to do to the figure. So let's talk about this articulation. The archetype head can look up. So if you wanted to do flight poses, easily you can get your Superman on. Like, really, you can get your Superman on with no problem. I did that with just 2 little movements. The head can look all the way back. It can't look down as much, but that's just saying, you know, it is what it is. But it can look slightly down. That's one of the only drawbacks to this figure. But you can tilt left and right. You can look all the way up and around. You can rotate the joint back around. So that way, if you wanted to be a crazy Spider-Man, you know, and I mean by Spider-Man like in the horror stuff, you'd actually be really fine. As you can see, I tucked it all the way around and come back down. Actually, let me see something. Nope. So the head plugs in a certain way. So you have to plug it in a certain way. So the head, oh, actually I can look down a little bit better now. Now in this neck area, you can actually wiggle that a little bit too. You can actually rotate that. So you actually have a little bit of extra room for doing that as well. Now to the fun part. The arms, the upper torso, the legs, all this stuff is going to be really cool. As you can see, I've rotated it up. Looks really good. The arms are completely double jointed, right? And you can rotate the cuff in. And as you can see, the underneath the plastic joint, rotate that all the way in. It has bicep swivel, right? So now with this bicep swivel, right, I'm going to rotate it in. And I'm going to show you that you can actually do a ton of work here. So I'm actually having too much fun with this, so I probably shouldn't. As you can see, I've crossed my arms with no problem. I can rotate them back with no problem. There's even a little bit of a butterfly joint on the inside. So as you can see, as I rotate it up, you can actually do a lot. Now, as far as the waist goes and the ab crunch, you can actually lift it up a little bit. So you actually have an extra little bit of room, as you saw there. You press that back down so you can see it. But you can wiggle side to side. You can come forward a little bit. But once you lift it up, you can actually come down even further for your ab crunch. And then you pull it up here as well in the torso. So you actually have an extra bit of ab crunch. So you can come forward like this. You can actually move really far back as well. And you can turn side to side. So if you wanted to throw Tyson haymakers, you can. So as I rotate these legs, rotate that ankle pivot, and throw a jackhammer punch, it looks really good. So let's say you wanted to give somebody the business. Just like that, this guy is already in pose. You know what I mean? You can rotate that around. There's tons of possibilities with this that I've shown off on my Instagram, but I'm going to show you guys here as much as I can. The leg actually uses the drop down method. There's thigh swivel as well. And you can rotate this up. Legs are double jointed. Feet have beyond generous ankle pivot, and there's a rotation here at the clear joint of the calf. So yeah, this is definitely a must have for me. So now I want to show you guys. So watch this. I've been having so much fun with this. So even in the squat stance, you can get your Spider-Man on. So let's say you wanted to make a custom Spider-Man figure or work from here. Look how easy this was. Now, I can actually also do Spider-Man poses from here as well. So let's say I wanted to web swing or do anything like this. It's one of those things where it's all here. It's really, really fun and it's really dope. And I'm just having a blast with this figure. And yes, it is fragile, but not in the sense of like it's going to be one of those things that break. It's like the more you use it, the more you're going to need to tighten up your joints and probably just pay attention to what you're doing. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to rotate this guy, right? Get into a little bit more of a stance. So you can rotate this leg up, get this leg down, rotate this arm this way, and voila. So you can do 3-point stances, you can do non-3-point stances, you can do hunting poses. So it's just tons of stuff. Now, I'm going to try to put him in a cool stance that I can, actually, you know what? I know a really good one. We'll do a Superman pose with his arms crossed, like he's flying. Right? So, I like this pose a lot. Right? Let's put him on his stand that's specially made for him. That plugs into his back. And I have to tighten this stand. But I like him, and I'm going to leave him like that. We're going to talk about the stuff that he comes with. They gave me 2 extra heads. One is the Screaming head, as you see here. It is molded out really well because it's 3D printed. And it highly accurate, shaved down. You even see the wrinkles in the head and the expression in the face. This is really cool. Then you get this Smirking head, which looks really cool. And I saw somebody commented it looked like Floyd Mayweather. And the more I look at it now, I can't unsee it. So this definitely has a Floyd Mayweather look. But this small grin and expression is just really cool. And it means a lot. Because it's kind of one of those things where you try to be more expressive and enjoy this stuff more. And that's how you get to enjoy it. So, as you saw the 2 closed fists, you also get 2 relaxed hands. These look really nice and relaxed. Then you get 2 action holding hands or claw hands, whether you want to attack somebody or do whatever it is. And as you can see, there's still parts that they shave down in there, so you can see that they're really good. But they try to nail as much as they possibly can, and it looks really, really good. Then you have 2 pointing hands or trigger hands, depending on how you want to use it, because you can probably put weapons in these hands. I have not tried it yet, because I've been too busy messing around with the figure. Then you get 2 of these action open hands, which I've also used to do some parkour and some other stuff. So you can use these for a bunch of stuff. And then there's these hands that I've had touching the floor, which I've used as gymnastic hands. Now I'm actually going to test these out right now, as I test out the handstand on this guy, because I was having some fun with that the other day. And as you can see how their hands work with the pegs, these pegs can rotate all the way in and wiggle around, gives them a lot of room. So let's say you wanted to make this guy look like he was doing push-ups. That's not an issue now because you have the right hands for it. And guess what? Now you're doing push-ups. Now you're doing finger push-ups at that. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you can actually, if you wanted to use this for reference, for getting your pose on, if you wanted to use this as one of those things where you were just trying to learn stuff, the more you play with this, the more I figure like it can help you in so many different ways. At $120, yes, it seems expensive, but in the long-term run, the amount that you can learn from it, gain from it, do things with it, I think that you can pay off that and experience and the things that you learn going forward, especially if you want to get better at posing. I think this is probably a must-have. If it's one of those things where you want to use for a custom, you're already starting your stuff off at a steep price, and I totally understand, but it's definitely one of those things where this is really nice. Now, in terms of balance, though, right? Now, this is the kind of thing I was talking about in terms of balance. This guy, because of hands like this, you can do things like this. Come on, you were doing it yesterday. Don't do this to me. come on. There we go. Oh. I want to make sure you can do it again. Ah, here we go. So yeah, just like that. You know what I mean? It's cool stuff like this, and it's like hands, accessories, things like that. So I'm probably gonna love this guy and probably get a few more from them. I definitely want to stop by and definitely say hi so you guys can see the process as well. But this thing has been a wild and great experience, and I've been loving it. So now I'm gonna show you, since you've seen it with this plastic body, the endoskeleton for this guy. This has been really, really nice. This is the clear endoskeleton that you see at the joints. So now you can see what kind of goes into this guy and what it is. As you can see, there's a butterfly joint. It comes forward and it comes back. The head can go backwards, forward, give you a little bit more range. The ab crunch is actually crazy, but what gets in the way is actual skin, right? Then we have this crazy body that can do just about anything, whether it's kicking, jumping, things like that. And just for fun, I'm going to show you that I can put the hands on. Right? And the head on. So you guys can actually get a feel for it. So these are kind of cool things that you can actually like work with and see what's going on. So even if, let's say you don't want the body and you want to work around it and mold your own thing, guess what? Now you can, right? You have it right here. So keep this kind of stuff in mind because this is really dope. Real quick though, now I want to jump into size comparison so you guys can see how he scales with other figures, right? First up, we're going to start with the articulated Icons Ninja because he happens to be the closest thing next to me. Then a Hasbro Lightning Collection White Ranger. So he's definitely close to the domestic side of things as he seems to already scale well with the White Ranger, who I have to work on his feet because for some reason he never really stands properly. So those two guys, they look really good. Next up, we have a Mezco Punisher, how he stands next to a Mezco. And as you can see, he fits in that realm as well with the Mezco stuff. Here he is next to a Storm Collectibles Reptile, right? He's kind of in that range of Mezco and Marvel Legends, right? Here he is next to a Mafex Spider-Man. So if you wanted to get a buff Spider-Man, like a Scarlet Spider going, you can definitely do that from this custom. I can definitely see that working from this body. The buffer Scarlet Spider, or even a Kane, or, you know, yeah, you can do a Kane for that. Here he is next to SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuga. Here he is next to a Mythic Legions Orc. And a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Right? Last but not least, I want to compare him to your boy, the Synthetic Human. Now, these are two figures now I've been having a blast with. And now I can kind of, you know, turn him into a Terminator. Oh, I didn't even think about that. You could be a cool Terminator custom. Wow. That's a good idea. Terminator. I'll definitely like that. While the Synthetic Human runs really well on the import side, the Specimen does a great job of fitting in and blending really well with other domestics. So it's one of those things where on the import side, scale-wise, articulation-wise, Synthetic Human is the beast. And now we have the Specimen, which can compete on the domestic side, that fits in with your domestics. And for those of you that love Marvel Legends and NECA and Mattel, this will work a lot better with you guys. Yes, it is expensive, but it's definitely a great piece. So you have to decide on how you want to go about that. So again, special thanks to the guys at Artbones NYC. You guys have done a wonderful job making a figure. I'm going to leave your website in the link description. And I want to thank you for letting me try out this figure because it's absolutely amazing. So in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it informative. But most of all, hope you do good, be good, drink your water, guys. Later.